Well, Congress, just down the street, is taking another step in a long-standing debate over how much control D.C. should have over its own affairs. A House committee has advanced a bill that would require congressional approval before the district could raise taxes or fees. Of course, the president would have to sign off on a bill like that. Reporter John Gonzalez joins us live. So, John, what happens next?
Adam, good morning. Yeah, this bill has now cleared the House Oversight Committee on a party line vote. Now it heads to the full House, where supporters there say that this legislation reinforces the constitutional responsibility Congress has to oversee the nation's capital. And I am told the full House vote could happen in the next coming days. Now, as you can imagine, district leaders see this very differently. Mayor Muriel Bowser says the bill would hurt D.C.'s ability to fully recover from the pandemic, a shrinking federal workforce, and the city's economic challenges. Democratic Delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton calls it one of the most significant threats to D.C. home rule since it was created more than 50 years ago. Now, Republican Chairman James Comer argues the measure would provide greater accountability before D.C. can increase taxes or fees.
The ultra-progressive and socialist Democrat candidate for mayor and the D.C. Council want to tax D.C. business and residents into oblivion to fund their unmaintainable extension of public programs.
Once again, they're substituting their judgment for the will of D.C. voters and D.C. elected officials. But they're doing it in a stupid way, because if your goal is to maybe see taxes cut, this now stops the council from cutting taxes without getting Congress involved.
Now, if this passes the full House, this bill still faces a much tougher path through the Senate, where Democrats there are expected to strongly oppose it. Reporting live, John Gonzalez, 7 News.
Yeah, for sure. This is something that we will be watching extremely close. John, thank you. Now, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser is pushing back against the legislation. She says it could hurt the city's economic recovery. In a statement, she says Congress should focus on helping D.C. replace lost economic activity from federal workforce cuts and remote work, rather than limiting the city's ability to raise and spend its own local dollars.
Democratic mayoral nominee Janice Lewis-George also spoke out against the bill, and she says D.C. has balanced its budget for decades and deserves the same local control as the 50 states. She calls the legislation unjust and unfair, arguing it would move D.C. in the wrong direction on home rule. Of course, stay with 7 News as we continue to track the progress on this bill and how it would impact D.C. To read more about it, just look for this story on our homepage.